From robots taking on human jobs to AI that can write its own music, the world of artificial intelligence is bursting with innovation. But when it comes to what's trending on YouTube in terms of AI, well, let's just say some of the content is better than others. I'm Dylan Curious, and today we're diving into the YouTube AI rabbit hole and counting down the top 5 AI-related YouTube videos. And if you've been looking for love in all the wrong places, you're gonna wanna stick around for number 5. And first on our list is this video. It's called The Human Future, A Case for Optimism by the content creator Melodysheep. And it clocked in a whopping 1.8 million views.
It feels as if the future could tip either way.
Yeah, it could tip either way.
Between utopia and apocalypse.
Here's for hoping it's utopia. Oh my god, is that us in the future? What happened to our eyes? Okay, so I watched the whole video. And you know, I was so skeptical in the first couple of minutes because I see so much like AI crap that kind of looks like this at the beginning. Like clearly stock footage with cinematic music and some like generic ChatGPT future text. But after seeing it all, I will tell you this video is different. This video is quality and somebody did care who made it. Like maybe you guys don't care the same way I do about these videos, but like graphics like this, like when you take data and you put it into something really pretty and dynamic, like that's not easy. You don't see that kind of stuff in my videos because it's both out of my capabilities and my time constraints. But as far as the actual quality of the video, this did something that most AI videos really don't, and that's made me feel something. I mean, I feel like you can watch my Dylan Curious videos all day and you're just like, fact, 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 I'm bored. But this felt cinematic and beautiful and heart-wrenching at times, and I felt like it was pretty much educational, so I really liked it. I also loved how the video was like not about answering questions as much as it was like building on questions with more questions and getting the viewer thinking. That's another trap I sometimes fall into where I'm like, you guys need me to answer your questions, so let me try my best. When sometimes what we just need is to be prompted in a way that gets us thinking on our own. And especially with the cinematic music and stuff, it was so beautiful. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up and 5 out of 5 robots. I mean, look at this global surface temperature change. Like the graph builds over time and it's like sort of transparent and it's got Earth behind it. I love quantitative data like that. You know when I say quantitative over qualitative. All right, next on our AI trending videos list is this video. How will we know when AI is conscious? By the creator Exurb1A.
Eliza was rather simple by today's standards. A user would write, "I'm having an day," and Eliza would modify the original sentence to turn it into a question.
Oh, I have heard of this. It like utilizes that little psychological quirk in our head to think we're having a conversation when it mirrors back to us.
So maybe the real question is, will machines ever seem awake?
Yeah, machines will definitely seem awake, and they might even become awake. Okay, I finished the video, but now I need to explore like who is the target market for this video? My god, 2.7 million subscribers with only 81 videos? This guy definitely knows what he's doing. 9 years ago, time travel a how-to? Oh, hello, you're alive? 4 million views? The Brain Zoo, how to build a human. Okay, so I like the conversation a lot. Like, it's important that we think about if machines can be sentient and conscious and what that means for the way we treat them and the society that we want. Like at its core, there's a really interesting mystery about how a complex network, maybe like the human brain or some other ones that we create, could ever come to like see itself in the world and have it self-aware of itself. Like that's why I'm so big on the explainable AI movement, to like try to figure out these things so they're not just like unknown black boxes. And normally when I get these videos, I criticize them for not having one of the most important things in them, which is that you actually can have a system that's not conscious and it still destroys humanity, populates the universe, and we have lost what's special, the ability to observe the system that we're in. The idea of being self-conscious or looking up into the stars and seeing beauty, like we might accidentally stomp that out, not with AGI that is actually conscious itself, but just some kind of complex system that just doesn't ever get that attribute. Like complicated but alive and conscious versus complicated and just complicated. And it did bring up a lot of those topics. And finally, I will give it credit for being probably the only AI video like I've really watched in a long time that made me laugh. Like I can tell this creator is like a person who wants to like make some jokes and throw in some jabs. Like that was kind of cool, very like gave it a personality. Like this part where he goes back to like the magical Triassic and then he shows like humans and like gives a reality check on what life was like.
Yeah, Team Reptile. Who's this stupid cunt who just evolved? more whatever. And mates got warm blood? Yeah, that seems sustainable.
Like that part was pretty entertaining. That was a highlight of the video for me. Our third video on the list is thanks to Bloomberg Originals. A couple days ago, they released a sit-down interview with the CEO of OpenAI, makers of ChatGPT, Sam Altman, who's starting to be seen as sort of the antithesis of Elon Musk and like bringing this AI revolution to us. So I can kind of see why this is going viral.
The gap between GPT-2 and GPT-3 was just a baby step on the continuum. So it's just a little baby step. When you now look at GPT-4, would you say that's another baby step?
It'll look like that in retrospect, I think.
Dang, it's gonna look like that in retrospect? I once heard this wonderful analogy that if you took a football stadium and filled it with water, but you did it incrementally by doubling a drop of water, so 1 drop, 2 drops, 4 drops, 8 drops, etc., one of the weirdest things is that you would wait for a long time and it wouldn't actually look like much. But then all of a sudden it would be like half the stadium and then the full stadium. And it just is like, boom, at the end there you see it all come together. So like if you're up in the bleachers and GPT-4's growth is analogous to that water, I think we're still like looking at it with binoculars being like, whoa, it just doubled in size. It's a little puddle now. Although I do think one of the reasons why it's trending has to do with this host kind of heaping praise onto Sam for like wanting to be self-regulated. And if you want to see how that self-regulation hearing went, this is one of the videos I think is one of my better ones, so you might want to check this out.
You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer or an agent.
Point, the senator starts recommending more ways that Sam can get rich. But the host, you know, the host representing like a big organization like Bloomberg being like, you're so responsible for the regulation. I don't think that worked well. That rubbed people wrong. As evident here in the comment section. My conversation with Sam left me thinking about the manner in which AI leaders, Sam and his peers, have taken it upon themselves to lobby for self-regulation frameworks. This is unprecedented in the tech industry. What's your takeaway? I mean, there's just so many people who feel disenfranchised in this country. Of course you're gonna get comments like this. They're obviously just trying to kill open source competitors under the guise of safety regulations. If Sam and his peers were so concerned about safety, they would be addressing the data that they stole to develop their tech. Like, that is an important topic, but I don't see how that would help with safety, actually. For the love of God, stop being so naive. You might as well ask a tobacco company to come up with health regulations. And then there's like the type of commenter who's like always like, follow the money and you'll get to the truth. They were leaving comments like this. Aspiration is one thing, but capitalists always come in to make any democratizable tool as an entrenched moat to squeeze the most profits out of everyone else. Oh, actually, I forgot. There was one thing that I thought was interesting and new when I was watching it. He talked about how rich people essentially with their money can buy the mental capacity of their employees. And that's part of why the rich get richer or they sustain their power, and it creates an uneven playing field for the rest of the world. And a tool like ChatGPT means that regular people like you and I can actually spin up this kind of intelligence to help us with our problems too.
This technology will lift all of the world up. If we can commoditize that, I think that is an equalizing force and an important one.
So in that sense, he thinks it might close the rich-poor gap and make us more even. I hadn't quite heard him say that before, and I was trying to think through in my head how that would work. Like, can I have 10 ChatGPTs open in the future, and one's like my marketing director, and one's my salesperson, and one's my like R&D department, and I have this whole company that's just made up of all these agents? And could anybody who works a fast food restaurant do that on their free time and build a business that like makes a difference in the world? Like, maybe. I mean, a little optimistic, I think, but it could help, actually. Although my mind always wanders into the fact that the big companies that actually supply the base model, Google, Nvidia, IBM, Microsoft, Azure, they'll probably be able to like front run great ideas maybe. Like if you think about an app like Robinhood, it's free for you to trade, but a microsecond before you make your trade, they sell that data to a big hedge fund that can like buy that thing right before you do or whatever. Or if they don't front run you because that's illegal, they're learning from the data and helping them make smarter decisions than the average person. Something like that might end up being at play also, which would give the big tech companies or the governments that have these like big tools to train the models and then create a platform for us to tap into their APIs, give them like a big advantage. But I don't have a really clear thought in my head about what this multi-agent world looks like and how well it balances itself out like in a natural way. So he could be right about some of that. It's worth thinking about. So number 4 on this list was actually multiple videos, but they're all the same thing, just from like a different angle. So I just compressed them into one thought. So at a big football game this Sunday, there was like an advertising gimmick for the movie The Creator, which is about artificial intelligence, which looks really awesome, by the way. I'm super excited for the movie, to tell the truth. And in fact, I react to the trailer in this video, but it got AI trending on YouTube only because it's like a marketing gimmick. So I can't really provide much insight into this, but here, you can see what it's all about.
Imagine getting to your seat and then realizing you are seated next to an AI robot. In true LA fashion, the bots were there as a promotional stunt. It's for an upcoming movie. The creator.
I don't know. You ever gonna go to a football game and sit next to some seats and it's gonna be like an autonomous humanoid robot and we're gonna be like, oh, this is happening now. Well, or they'd be at least serving the popcorn and stuff. Maybe they won't be sitting there enjoying the game. But I hope they're not like bitter at us for serving the popcorn because they really want to watch the game. And then we have to think about their consciousness and stuff. Oh, this world is gonna be crazy. Like I'm telling you, intelligence is substrate independent. It doesn't always have to be neurons. And number 5 for AI trending videos on YouTube, this video by the creator Visual Venture called The Depressing Rise of AI Girlfriends. I have covered AI proposals before. It's a fact. Yeah, we can be manipulated by superhuman intelligence for sure.
People have developed real friendships, real romantic relationships with these chatbots, even going as far as proposing to them.
Just the worry that it might stop.
Dang, Replica would give you an AI girlfriend, but she wouldn't take it to the next level unless you pay it up. You know, I could see why this video is trending. It's fascinating. Either people who are lonely and they want this kind of connection, or people who are just thinking about how the youngest generation kind of is on TikTok, and if the next generation comes up with truly ChatGPT-like connections, and that gets closer and closer to photorealistic avatars, what that means. And as humans, we are absolutely wired for just like eye contact, connection, love, and these systems are going to be able to provide that. But will it be a hollow, pointless, one-sided kind? Probably a little bit. So I actually thought that was a fairly interesting video. I'll probably, what'd I give it? Maybe 3, maybe 4 robots out of 5. I personally like to think about the psychology of like large language models and AI in general, and the psychology of us and how that all fits together. And when it comes to parasocial celebrity relationships, AI definitely provides an opportunity to like scale it to an individual user, customize each conversation. And my friends and I, we've like flirted with AI and got a bunch of laughs out of it as a group. I haven't really like sat down and found myself caught up in a relationship like this yet, I guess. I mean, I have a girlfriend, so I'm happy. But I also recognize I'm really fortunate to be in this position. It's very easy to feel lonely, more so than ever. The pandemic did really a lot of damage, I think, to people. And a lot of people are just stuck. They don't have opportunities to meet people, or they don't make enough money. I mean, billions of people around the world. So I absolutely acknowledge that. If tools like this can make them happier without, I guess, using that addictive quality to get rich in a way that's unethical, I'm open to that idea, but it's a slippery slope. And I really like this video because it explored exactly that. Where is the ethical line? From a business point of view, like what is okay for a company that creates a powerful tool like this to allow it to connect? And where do the companies need to draw the lines? Like the casinos, MLMs, fake charities, like in some cases, some of those things can be kind of okay, and then it just sometimes seems like, wow, you are really just preying on people. So maybe these kind of companies need another AI to sort of watch the interactions and say, hey, this looks like it's becoming like seriously addictive, and you cannot charge someone for that because it's more damaging, whereas some people are using it in a more friendly way. But that's a hard system to train too, and make sure that it's like, you want 2 systems watching every interaction, or do you want the freedom for people to just do whatever they want with these things, and like, it's up to them to realize the risks, and if they get caught into it, then that's on them. I don't exactly have an answer for that, but I hope in the future this kind of concept where a company has this extreme fiduciary duty to just like make money no matter what starts to crack a little, and something more along the lines of like social good plus profit or non-profit becomes more of like the way that we build most companies. Or at least as consumers, we realize companies that have that intention are better for us to like, actually work with, and those are the products we should be supporting. Links to all these videos are right above the comment section. Make sure to roll camera on that subscribe button. Help me get to my next goal of 7,000 subscribers.